Good day to everybody and welcome to another episode of PNU Talks. I am Atty. Virgo Gulan, LPT, and a BSc Mathematics graduate from and therefore an alumnus of the Philippine Normal University North Luzon, then known as the Philippine Normal University Isabela Campus, way back 2007. I am here today to share something about the legal issues of online education. For my talk for today, I chose some legal issues which I believe and I hope will guide us educators in fulfilling our mandate to teach, to motivate, and to influence positive changes in the lives of our learners. Online education, or the manner by which the teaching-learning situation does not occur within the confines of the classroom, but rather through electronic, computer technology, and virtual classrooms, is actually not a new concept as far as the Philippine law is concerned. As early as December 9, 2014, Republic Act No. 10650, otherwise known as the Open Distance Learning Act, was approved, which aimed to expand and further democratize access to quality tertiary education through the promotion and application of open learning as a philosophy of access to educational services, and the use of distance education as an appropriate, efficient, and effective system of delivering quality, higher, and technical educational services in the country. Online education has, of course, constitutional basis. For example, Section 1, Article 14 of our present Constitution states that the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Section 2, Paragraph 1 of the same article provides that the state shall establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. Now then, the slight problem with RA number 10650 is that its application is limited only to tertiary education, which means that traditional mode, that is face-to-face, is still the recognized mode of delivery of instruction in the basic education. However, with the COVID-19 pandemic we are fighting today, and with the spike of the number of infected people, face-to-face instruction in the school becomes practically impossible, not to mention that it poses a threat to the health of both the teachers and the learners. Imperative, therefore, is the use of other modes of delivery of instruction, and this is where online education comes in. Vis-a-vis online education, the application of laws relevant to teachers is still in force and in effect. But given that the teaching-learning situation becomes virtual through online, there might be some slight changes in the interpretation of the said laws. In an article authored by Atty. Emmanuel Osales entitled "The Legal Responsibility of Teachers," published by the De La Salle University College of Business and Economics Center, Volume 4, Number 5, September to October 2001 of its journal, it is stated that it is an open secret that a teacher does not just impart knowledge and values. A teacher cannot limit her role as a dispenser or facilitator of knowledge. Neither can she disassociate her personal life, that is the way she lives, with her role as a teacher. In and out of the classroom, a teacher must display exemplary behavior and observe a high standard of integrity. But this is actually found in the Code of Ethics for professional teachers. So, aside from personal conduct that should be beyond reproach, a teacher assumes a legal responsibility when a pupil or a student is placed under her care and custody. End of quote. The first thing that comes to mind is the legal or legitimate authority that a teacher exercises over his or her students while the said students are under his or her care, custody, and supervision. This finds basis in Article 218 of the Family Code of the Philippines in relation to Article 2180 of the Civil Code of the Philippines, and I quote, Article 218, Family Code of the Philippines. The school, its administrators and teachers, or the individual entity or institution engaged in child care shall have special parental authority and responsibility over the minor child while under their supervision, instruction, or custody. Authority and responsibility shall apply to all authorized activities, whether inside or outside the premises of the school, entity, or institution. On the other hand, Article 2180 of the Civil Code provides the obligation imposed by Article 2176 is demandable not only for one's own acts or omission, but also for those of persons for whom one is responsible. Lastly, teachers or heads of establishments of arts and trade shall be liable for damages caused by their pupils and students or apprentices so long as they remain in their custody. The said articles I just mentioned bestow special parental authority and responsibility over the minor child, while under the teacher's supervision, instruction, or custody. Now then, it appears under the last paragraph of Article 218 of the Family Code, and I quote again, authority and responsibility shall apply to all authorized activities, whether inside or outside the premises of the school, entity, or institution, end of quote. It appears that online education, inasmuch as it is done precisely outside of the premises of the school, may still be covered by said special parental authority and responsibility. Let us give some example. Suppose a PE teacher instructs his students to make a video presentation of a dance. As the students were executing a particularly difficult step of the dance, which involves lifting and throwing, a certain student lost his balance and fell. His ankle, or say his knees, cracked or was injured in the process. The question is, would the teacher be liable on the injury sustained by the said students on account that the student was in his instruction at the time the injury occurred? There are two schools of thoughts for this, and they ran this way. First, the teacher will be held liable inasmuch as the students were under his instruction at the time the incident occurred. Had the teacher not assigned them to make a particularly difficult dance step, especially given the fact that the teacher cannot physically observe and caution them, the video presentation requirement is an imprudent and negligent act of the teacher, giving rise to the liability imposed upon teachers under the special parental authority and responsibility clause of the said provisions of the law I mentioned earlier. The second thought runs this way. The teacher will not be held liable, notwithstanding the fact that the student was in his instruction at the time. The phrase authority and responsibility shall apply to all authorized activities, whether inside or outside the premises of the school, entity, or institution, means that although the authorized activities were done outside, still, for the teacher to be liable, the activity must be one in which the presence of the teachers is required, such as field trip, seminar, contest, and the like. In online education, the presence of the teacher, that is his presence with the students, is impossible, making him not liable under the special parental authority and responsibility clause. Regardless, it is better if teachers are to exercise prudence and caution whenever they are giving online activities to students. They should give extra precautions and precise directions to the students as to how to accomplish the activities, and avoid giving online activities the execution of which may tend to cause injury to the students. In short, teachers must have to observe the due diligence that is required of them under the law. Now, under the law, the diligence required to teachers is that of a diligence of a good father of a family, which is related to the concept of reasonable foresight of harm. The diligence of a good father of a family is described in this wise, as found in the decision of the Supreme Court. And I quote, "Would a prudent person in the position of the person to whom negligence is attributed foreseen harm to the person injured as a reasonable consequence of the course about to be pursued? Thus, if that prudent person foresaw harm, there is a duty on him to refrain from that course, or to take precaution against its mischievous results." End of quote. A teacher, therefore, should have that reasonable foresight of harm. That is, he can reasonably foresee what would most likely happen given the activities or the online activities, and what should be done should a harm be foreseen to occur. Moreover, it is in this moment that we need to energize and strengthen once again our partnership with our parents through the PTA or Parents Teachers Association. Perhaps we can make a memorandum of understanding with the parents that when the students are to undergo online education, the parents or the guardians would be the ones to physically supervise the students, while the teachers are the ones who will virtually instruct the students via online learning. Another legal issue that crops out in online education is the security of privacy of the students and the teachers as well. The right to be respected of our own privacy is a right that is recognized under the Constitution and the applicable laws. Hence, when online education comes in, and especially when there is a discussion done through online means, it would be prudent for the teachers to remind the students that the online discussion through teleconference may be recorded and asked if they accede to it. You may also need to remind them that you are just recording the same for academic purpose and to keep track of those who are attending the online lessons and those who are not. The most important thing is that the students are informed about it. There are still many legal issues surrounding online education, but these are just some of the few things that I will be sharing with you today. I will be very glad if you would ask me some questions, which you can do so by leaving me a private message in my Facebook account. Thank you very much to the Philippine Normal University for inviting me in this online talk. Again, thank you and good day to us all.